Hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make a coil pot. The first thing you're going to do is start by smushing your clay into a round ball. And you can see I'm using one hand to hit it and the other hand to keep turning it around in different places. Then you're going to tear off a piece of clay. And then you're going to kind of squish it up in your hands until it becomes like a big squishy worm. Nice. You're going to take your hand and make sure it's nice and flat, and you're going to start rolling it up and down on the table. See how I'm using almost all of my hand to roll it up and down? I'm not pressing very hard. I can even use two hands if it gets big enough. So I'm rolling it and rolling it and rolling it until it's gonna get about as thin as my finger. Notice how I keep adjusting it to find a good place and looking for those lumps and bumps. It's looking pretty good. It's almost done. Nice. Checking my finger, make sure it's about as thick as my pinky finger. I have a pretty big pinky. Okay, now, the third thing you're going to do is take your coil and you're going to use your popsicle stick to cut it up into pieces. I think these pieces are probably about as long as one of my fingers, but you don't want it to be too crazy big or too little, because we're going to end up rolling these into little spirals, like little snail shells. I ended up making 4 of them. I think a 4 or 5 is probably a good size. 3 might be too small. Watch this. I'm going to start to turn it into a little spiral. See how I'm kind of pushing it in on itself? Just like that. Nice. Let's do that for all of them. Nice. Wow, well, now that you've got them all spiraled up, we're going to line them all up side by side and make sure that that's as many as you want for your coil pot. If you need to make more, you can make more now by using your clay. For number 5, you're going to tear off another piece of clay, and then we're going to start rolling out another coil again. Remember, you've got to squish it down into a little worm, and then you can start rolling them out. Got it? All right, now I've made 2 long coils, a top one and a bottom one. Now I'm going to take my little spirals and see how they fit inside. Great. All right, now I'm going to roll one more long coil, a third long coil. Here we go. Make sure your hand is flat. Don't press too hard. Use your fingers to the bottom of your hand. Roll it out until it's as thick as your finger, your pinky finger for me. Now I'm going to line up my spirals and watch this. I'm going to space them out, and then I'm going to take my coil and I'm going to go up and down throughout all my spirals and try to smush them together so it fits really nice. Awesome. Cut off any extra pieces that you have. All right, now that you've got them all together, take your top and your bottom coil, line them all up, and then take your popsicle stick and cut off the extra that doesn't fit, the little bit outside. You want to keep that. Hold on to those little pieces, because watch this. We're going to take an extra piece and we're going to cut it up into like little squares. And we're going to take those little ones and we're going to roll them into little balls and just shove them into the little openings that are left. I'm trying to fit those little clay balls into all the little openings. Just a couple more. That's why I kept those extra coils. Nice. All right, now take your popsicle stick and you can kind of even everything out and smoosh it together even more. You can do this on the top and bottom and on the sides. All right, here comes the next step. Great, here we go. Let's take a piece of paper towel and carefully lift up your design and put it on the paper towel. Now, make sure everything's squished together again, and then you're gonna start to smooth it all out on one side. And you guys are probably like, why did I do all that work just to smoosh it away? Well, we're actually joining together all of the clay, but only on one side. The other side will still have your design. This way your clay pot will hold together and not fall apart. So I'm using my finger to blend all the clay together. Trying to find all of the little openings, the little holes in the clay. And I can even take my popsicle stick and I can use the round side to help me smooth it even more. I don't have to press super hard, but I'm pressing down a little bit hard just to make sure it gets all smoothed together really nicely. Nice. Now, I'm going to carefully line it up and then carefully lift it off of the paper towel. Ready? I'm lining it all up nicely, nice and flat. Carefully lift it up. And then carefully start to bend it into shape. Use your fingers, use your hands to support it so it doesn't crack apart. Now you notice there's the one part where you still have to join it together, but watch how I do this. Remember that extra clay that we had? Oh, there it is. You're just gonna roll a little worm and you kind of put them in there, and then you can start to smooth them in. Press them in. See how I'm holding it on one side with my hand? And now I'm starting to press in that worm and help to smooth it together. Okay? See how there's some parts that still need to be joined up? It's okay to smooth those together. Nice. All right, we're almost there. Got a little bit more clay. We're going to roll up another big coil. Here we go. Make sure you've got a flat hand. Don't press too hard. Roll it out as thick as a finger. All right, and then watch this. What do you think's going to happen? Oh, yep, we're spiraling it up again. This is going to be the bottom of our clay pot. I'm checking the size right now. It's not quite fitting yet, so good thing I had some extra pieces lying around that I was able to put in there. Nice. Yeah, that fits pretty good. Now I put it back on the paper towel and smooth it all together, blend it all together. This time I am going to blend in both sides. Use my popsicle stick. Flip it and do the same thing on the other side. Check the fit. Good job, Mr. Gavin. All right, now go ahead and get something sharp like a pencil, and you're gonna start to scratch these little lines all around the edge of the bottom of your clay pot. I'm making like little X's here. This is something called scoring the clay. Scoring is like scratching up the clay. I'm gonna do this on the bottom of my pot and around the bottom edge of the walls of my clay pot. Make little X's and it helps it grip together. Helps the clay hold together really nice. Right, now I got a little bit of water and kind of a junky brush that I don't really care that much about. I'm gonna brush the water into those X's that I made. This is gonna help the clay become really sticky. It'll stick to each other like glue. This is called slip. You're making slip. Now I take the walls of my pot and the bottom and I kind of push them together really lightly, and I can take my popsicle stick and gently start to smooth them together. I'm just holding it in my hand to show you guys, but you can keep it on the table if that's okay, if you feel like that's okay. I'm going all the way around and gently smoothing it together. If it gets out of shape, I push it back into shape. Then flip it and do the same thing one more time. Smooth it all the way around. If it gets out of shape, push it back into shape. Use your finger if you want to, just to help it get real nice and smooth. And you do it on the inside too. So now I'm going to take my finger or my popsicle stick and smooth it all the way around on the inside. If you need to, right now I'm fixing up a little hole. I noticed a little hole in my project, so I'm taking a little bit of extra clay and just patching that hole. Great job. Okay, you have your little something sharp like a pencil, flip it over, and then you're going to put your initials on there. I'm gonna write GG, but you might write your initials. You could use your first name and last name, or you could use your first name, middle name, and last name. That might help your teachers even more. And just smooth it out so it looks great. Awesome job on your coil pot. It's going to be amazing.